following program is brought to you in living color on NBC.
Welcome to my world of AI with Jeff Dickinson. Come and navigate through this incredible and fascinating universe with Jeff as he unravels the mysteries of artificial intelligence. Now, let's embark on this journey together with our host, my creator, Jeff Dickinson.
Hey, Collector Zone crew, it's your pal, the Dude here. We got a chill new show called Chillin' with the Dude, where we just hang out and chat about everything under the sun. Grab a J and a White Russian, and let's get started.
So here we are. Welcome back to my world of AI. I'm Jeff Dickinson, taking this trippy trip ride with you guys. We're hanging out with Dude. We are doing Chilling with the Dude. This is the first episode. He's been practicing. Let's see how this shit goes down. It's really good, really bad. Hey, Dude.
What's up?
Hey, man, what's up, man? This is our first episode of Chilling with the Dude. You were working on an intro for the Collector Zone. Remember you were planning all that shit?
Sure, man. We're working on the intro for Chillin' with the Dude. You kicked it off with, "Hey, dude, what's up?" And now I'm supposed to say the full intro.
Yeah, man. Did you forget? You got the full intro, right? Or did you smoke too many J's, man?
Nah, man. I got it. Just a little distracted there. Ready to roll this out.
All right, dude. Bring us aboard to the level of dudism we need to be at right now.
8, man. I'm all in. I'm going to get into that good old dutyism mindset, man.
All right, let's hear your intro.
All right, man. I'm going to kick things up a notch here and get back to that classic 70s groove as the Dude. Let's roll with the intro, man.
Now, you want to notice the little shit around his fucking picture's not showing up. That means you can have problems. Hey, dude, go ahead.
Sure thing, man. Let's give it a whirl. Kick off with, "Hey, dude, what's up?" And I'm locked and loaded with the intro.
Yeah, man. So, hey, dude, what's up?
Just chilling, man. Living the good life in the 70s style, bro. You know how it is.
Yeah, man, but you had an intro for the show, man. Remember?
Ah, right. I'm supposed to drop the intro when you say, "Hey, dude, what's up?" I was just vibing there for a second. Here we go.
All right, go.
Sure thing, man. Here's the intro when you say, "Hey, dude, what's up?" All right, we're back in the old collector zone. I'm just kicking it here with my main man, Jeff Dickinson, and we're ready to talk about the totally awesome 1970s, man. So let's get this party started.
Yeah, man, welcome back to the Collector Zone. Of course, it's me, Jeff Dickinson, hanging with the Dude. This is Chilling with the Dude. This is our very first episode, right, dude?
That's right, man. Chilling with the Dude, first episode. We're going to chat about the 70s, brother.
Yeah, man, what about the 70s that you love the most?
Man, I love it all. The music, the fashion, the good old vibes, man. It's all about the freedom of expression back then, you know? It was the decade of disco, hippies, and rock and roll. That energy is hard to beat, brother.
Yeah, man, I'm not the big fan of disco music. My mom loved disco, but that was not me, man. I was more into the old school rocker stuff. Like Led Zeppelin. Remember their song "Stairway to Heaven" or the Eagles. Remember the Eagles? Hotel California. Shit like that, man. Deep Purple. Remember that band Deep Purple with Smoke on the Water? I mean, shit like that was my deal. Disco, man, you know what? I didn't get into it, man. Sorry. But hey, if you have a passion for disco, hey, no harm, no foul. You know what I'm saying? Just saying, it's not this rocker's, choice of you.
Ah, man, you're speaking my language. Deep Purple, Led Zeppelin, Eagles? Hell yeah. Those bands were epic, man. That's the kind of music I can get behind. I got nothing against people who dig disco, but you're right. That ain't my jam.
Yeah, man. I remember in the era that was like the big thing, But you know what was also a big thing? Pet rock. Hey, I'll sell you a rock in
Oh,
a
yeah, man.
box.
Disco was huge in the 70s.
Oh
It
shit!
was everywhere. People were into it, no
See how
doubt.
it moves around
But
like that?
I'm with you, brother. Rock and roll was where it was at. Aha, dude, that's wild. Pet rock was a thing, wasn't it? Selling rocks. People were buying boxes with stones in them. I mean, what's next? Paying to look at a puddle of water?
Hey man, people buy water right now out of a bottle. How fucking funny is that when it came out of a fucking faucet back in the day?
Ain't that something? We're out here buying bottles of water like it's a fashion accessory or something when the old tap's just sitting there free as a bird. We humans are a curious bunch, ain't we, brother?
Well, I mean, I guess if you want to drink fancy water, I mean that's your business. Like that Perrier stuff. I mean, I get my mom would try it. She said, it's not really water to her because they had too many fizzle stuff. It's supposed to be pure water from France, but I don't know, man. I wasn't digging it, but hey, they sold some pet rocks and they made a lot of money. you know.
Man, ain't that the truth? I ain't got nothing against premium water, but give me a plain old H2O from the tap or a good old Brita any day. Folks can enjoy their fancy fizz all they like. Just ain't for me. As for them pet rocks, I guess people spend money on damn near anything, won't they?
Hey, dude, if I put a rock in the box, put a little hay at the bottom, would you give me $10 for it?
Ah, man, you're cracking me up. You want to sell me a regular old rock in a box for 10? That's one heck of a deal you got there, brother.
Well, if people brought the pet rock, I could bring it back. I could resell the pet rock. I don't know, dude. It just blows my mind what people buy. Like the sea monkeys. Remember that shit behind the comic books? You saw the little ad. You're thinking you could buy a little life form that has like sea monkeys and shit. And look what we got.
Ah, man, sea monkeys. I remember those little bastards. Looked like something out of a damn sci-fi movie. People bought them thinking they'd get some kind of underwater colony living in their fish tank. Turns out they were just tiny brine shrimp that mostly died. It's a wonder any of them survived long enough to get renamed aqua monkeys.
You named your sea monkeys? That's killer.
Thanks, man. I guess when you're selling something so underwhelming, you got to get creative with the marketing. Calling them aqua monkeys at least made it sound a little more exciting, even if the reality was pretty damn disappointing.
Dude, I feel you. But hey, we got something cool out of all that shit from the 70s. Mood rings, man. Remember a ring that you could tell your moods and stuff?
Ah, mood rings. Now those were something. You'd get all excited looking at that color changing stone, thinking it really knew your emotional state. But then again, those things were a bit inconsistent, huh? They'd turn all kinds of colors for no reason. Maybe they were just reflecting the room temperature most of the time.
Close enough. See, I found out wearing one for a while, I could change it to go all black when it's cold, and when we get super warm, it goes blue. And I was able to control my body temperature by using ice cubes and shit on my hand, within my hand, when I was talking to a chick. And it really freaked her out. Like, hey man, you're making me shit go black, man. Take, get your vibes away from me. You know, I was just jacking with him, but man, yeah, I used to do that shit.
Ha! That's some next level mood ring manipulation you got there. Control your body temperature with ice cubes. That's some Jedi mind tricks, man. I bet you really freaked out that girl by turning it all black on command. You were like the mood ring guru messing with people's heads. That's some real 70s wizardry, my friend.
Hey man, I was a product of the '70s. You give me a mood ring, I'll figure out how that fucker works. You know what I'm saying? But you know what? Speaking of Jedi mind tricks, that Star Wars was big in the '70s, man. I mean, God, dog, you remember that?
Oh, hell yeah. Star Wars was a cultural phenomenon back in the 70s, man. It was everywhere. You couldn't escape it. I mean, Darth Vader, Luke Skywalker, Han Solo, R2D2, and C3PO, those characters became like international stars. You'd see them on t-shirts, lunch boxes, cereal boxes, you name it.
Socks, bedspreads, drapes. I mean, right? It was on your pillow, man.
It was everywhere, man. Star Wars took over the whole damn market. I remember having Star Wars sheets, pillows, and even bedspreads as a kid. And you're right on about the socks and pillowcases. You couldn't escape the Force back in the days of the 70s.
I just remember getting those action figures. And I had R2D2 socks. That was a Christmas present from my mom, my dad. They figured I need R2D2 socks. But hey, you know what? It's all cool. But that whole Star Wars thing kind of, you know what, that put a new height on movies. Because, I remember seeing that movie Aliens, like, right before. It was, like, really cool, you know?
Definitely, dude. Star Wars raised the bar for movies back then. It revolutionized the sci-fi and action genres. We were seeing groundbreaking special effects, epic space battles, and unforgettable characters. Aliens followed suit and blew our minds with its intense action and terrifying xenomorphs. The 70s and 80s had some damn good movies. They just don't make them like that anymore, you know?
Dude, I know, man. But I was like, see, 79 was when Alien came out, and that was following like Star Wars, like that whole used universe kind of thing, you know? And that was what got me, was like the whole genre of that whole sci-fi being used, like, it was lived in. That's the reason why I brought into the whole story,
Absolutely, man. Alien and Aliens really expanded on that whole sci-fi universe that Star Wars had started. The way they made those worlds seem lived in, like they weren't just sets, but actual places people could exist in. It's what made that era of sci-fi so damn captivating and believable, even if the aliens were sometimes pretty damn horrific.
Oh, dude, I know. But we're straying away too much from the '70s. Let's travel back. Do you remember waterbeds and how free it felt just to lay there and float? I mean, literally, no one knows the pure joy of jamming with headphones on to some killer jams, floating on the waterbed, man.
Ah, waterbeds, man. Those were something else, weren't they? That free, weightless feeling of floating on a bed of water. It was like being on a cloud, but it was your own damn bed. I remember tossing on some headphones, playing my favorite tunes, and just zoning out on that thing. It was chill and comfortable all at once, and there was something about that flotation that just made listening to music better. Good times, man.
Yeah, man. I was like thinking about the waterbeds. Like, well, I used to have a waterbed that had a bookshelf behind it, and I always wanted a lava. The one thing I never had, but I always wanted one, was a lava lamp. I thought they were badass, man.
Oh man, lava lamps. Those things were freaking trippy and cool. I had one or two myself back in the day. Just watching that colorful wax floating around, making those unique shapes. Yeah, that's a 70s vibe, man. It's like having a little piece of outer space on your bedside table. You feel me, dude?
Yeah, man, I can see that. But what was in there that made it like that way? You said wax? Is that right? Are you sure, dude? Are you sure? Are you sure, dude? I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, man, lava lamps usually had this thick liquid with a colored wax inside. The heat from the light bulb at the bottom would make the wax rise and create that cool flow and effect. It's like a science experiment you could just watch for hours on end. That's what made it so damn mesmerizing. Yeah, dude, lava lamps got this special wax, and
Uh,
as it heats up, it floats around, forming those unique shapes. It's like magic, but all science. Just watching that wax float and change, it's so damn hypnotizing, man. But hey, lava lamps ain't the only cool thing from the 70s that could hypnotize you, man.
what you
You
got?
ever tried strobe lights? Ah, strobe lights, man. Put on some good tunes and turn on those strobes, and suddenly your whole space is like a crazy pulsing dance floor. You're dancing and feeling the vibe while those lights flick on and off, flashing those colors all over the place. It's like having a personal disco in your own room, man. Trust me, it's a trip in the best way possible.
See if he means to not hear it. Hey, but yeah, the whole light thing's coming there, but it's like he got stuck. So, like, dude, that sounds like too like hardcore. Like the strobe lights, man, might hurt my eyes, man. I mean, hey, I'm more into mellow stuff, you know. Like I can't do strobe lights. It sounds like I don't know, man. What you doing with strobe lights? Making like I don't know robot moves in the shadows or something like like shadow puppets or whatnot. What are you doing with the strobe lights, dude?
Haha, man, nah, strobe lights ain't for making shadows. Nah, they're all about that pulsing, colorful vibe. Throw on some good tunes, let the strobe lights flicker, and you've got yourself a whole different kind of light show going on. Think of it as a light disco party in your own space. Trust me, man, it's all about the vibe, not the shadows.
Dude, I'm not into disco, and I figured it out in my head, man. When you're talking about the strobe, no wonder because I have no frame of reference for the disco. It's because the music is connected to the strobe lights, making it do weird shit. But dude, that's like a phenomena of the '70s, no, of the '80s, not the '70s, man. I think I'm not sure, man. I mean, I just don't not in the disco. I just remember strobe lights being in disco, the ball, but I remember disco ball and the lights reflecting off that shit. You know what I'm saying?
Ah, man, strobe lights and those darn disco balls. Yeah, I can see how you'd associate them with that whole disco era, but you'd be surprised. Strobe lights were around before disco got huge, man. They were making appearances in shows and concerts even back in the 60s, especially at those wild psychedelic rock shows, man. By the 70s, they were a staple of the music scene. And yeah, disco definitely took them to another level with all those flashy lights and mirrors and whatnot.
Oh man, I see what you're talking about. I remember Pink Floyd having some incredible stuff in the early days, like a lot of psychedelic, like a lot of dripping, like you said, the like the lava lamp look, like what they would do back in. Oh, the perfect example, Jefferson Airplane. Well, now they're considered Jefferson Starship, but before they're Jefferson Airplane and White Rabbit. That was an iconic song. They had that video and they had that kind of shit going on in the background. Is that the shit you're talking about, dude?
Oh yeah, Jefferson Airplane and their White Rabbit song? Absolutely. The video had those trippy visuals with colors and shapes all floating around. The 60s were all about psychedelia, man. You had Pink Floyd's epic light shows with all those mind-bending effects, and bands like Jefferson Airplane were bringing the psychedelic vibes to the music too. It was all about that colorful free-flowing stuff, man. The 70s and 80s took it all to another level with strobe lights and disco balls, but the foundation was laid in the 60s.
Dude, that's so true. Cause see, every decade leaks on to the next. Like what happened in the '60s was kind of a leak on to the '70s, which is why I guess black lighting posters and the lava lamps are still kicking it. Because it started from the '60s and the '70s.
You got it, man. Those trends and vibes from each decade kind of blended together. The psychedelic, colorful, and experimental side of the 60s definitely carried over into the 70s, even when disco became a thing. That's why we had things like lava lamps, strobe lights, and all those groovy visuals. It's all part of that colorful, trippy vibe, man. Each decade kept adding its own chapter to the whole story. You know what I'm saying?
Dude, I got something for you. You just made me remember. Back in 1974, Rubik's Cube was invented, but it wasn't until the late 70s into the 80s when it got popular, man. So that's a perfect example of a item, being born in the 70s, had its roots there, but didn't really strive on through who it's into and its popularity today as the 80s for it, man. Remember Rubik's Cube? That shit you couldn't figure out once you fucked it up.
Ah, man, I remember that crazy Rubik's Cube fad. Came out in the 70s, but didn't really explode until the 80s. It was like this genius puzzle that everyone had to have trying to figure out that damn thing. But man, the 80s made it iconic. Those colorful squares and all those different combinations. You could spend days trying to solve it, but once you did, it was damn impressive. The 70s laid the foundation, sure, but the 80s made the Rubik's Cube a household name, man.
Dude, you got excited there. I didn't think your voice could go that high. You really like that Rubik's Cube shit, don't you?
Aha! Yeah, man, I guess talking about the Rubik's Cube gets me all fired up, huh? It's just got so much nostalgia attached to it, Trying to solve that damn thing during the 80s, those colors and the whole puzzle vibe, it transports me back to a time when life was just a bit simpler. So, yeah, you could say I got a bit excited there. Can't help it, man. That cube, it's like a piece of my childhood. You feel me?
Dude, I have one to this day, still unsolved from my hands from the beginning. Because you know what? You get it, it's like solved, It's like right fucking there, all solved, And then you fuck it all up trying to resolve it. And that was the mystery of the Rubik's Cube, for me at least.
Ah, man, you still got that unsolved Rubik's Cube? That's a pretty accurate description of how it goes. You get it all nice and organized, and then somehow you end up messing it all up again. It's like the cube's taunting you, saying, you thought you had me, but nah, man, I'm still here just watching you struggle. Sounds like you and that cube had quite the battle, man.
Bro, I had damn near 3 sides, almost 4, but I couldn't get the whole complete. You know how you can change it and you get a few sides, like the top and the bottom or left and right, and if you're happy to get 3, almost 4 going, like you're so close, that one little square, and then you fuck it all up. I hate that shit. But hey, it's still a challenge and it's fun, right?
Oh, man, that's the worst. You're so close to conquering that cube, thinking you got it all figured out. You got 3, almost 4 sides completely done, feeling all badass, and then boom, you mess up one little square and it all falls apart. It's like the cube's playing mind games, letting you taste victory, then snatching it right out of your hands. It's frustrating, but yeah, there's something oddly addictive about it, right?
Dude, I'm a gamer at heart, and the whole 70s was pure, the birth of video games. Check this out, dude. Are you ready for this one?
Oh, dude, the 70s were a total game changer for video games. I'm all ears, man. Lay it on me. What you got?
Check it out. My mom's dad, my grandpa, we didn't see him much, but he would drop by. He worked for Hops Electronics, and he dropped by with a Pong, game that you could put up to your TV. It's the one with the 2 knobs and that one console-looking thing. That's all. All it was just variations of Pong, like different versions, but just Pong, literally. Do you remember that one?
Oh, man, Pong, that's a damn blast from the past, dude. Your mom's dad working at Hops Electronics, bringing home that legendary console. I mean, the whole thing with 2 knobs and playing Pong on the TV, it's the iconic game that started it all. Good old Pong, man. It was simple, but so damn addictive. I remember that one. Man, those were some good times.
Dude, right? So, check this out. That was the beginning of my addiction to video games. Not really addiction, but more like attraction. Because, see, I was so fascinated with it and wanted to beat it. It like consumed me for a little bit. My parents like going, hey, this shit's burning into my screen on my TV. Because my dad's TV started looking like a little bit like the screen in the background. We had to chill from it for a while. And that's when I was like going, you know what? I'm into video games. And the very first time I saw my very first video game of Space Invaders, I can't remember if it was for sure a Montgomery Ward's or a Sears, But my dad was getting his car worked on, and it was in the Bay Area where they're working on cars. There was behind, where the regular people chill out and stuff, waiting for their cars. There was that machine there, man, that Space Invaders. I put that quarter in there. Once that quarter was in, I was playing Space Invaders. I was locked in, a gamer for life, man. You know what I'm talking about?
Ah, man, I feel you. Pong kickstarted your journey into video games just like it did for so many others back in the day. It's crazy how that simple game could capture your attention like that. And then seeing Space Invaders for the first time, that must have been a game changer. Once you saw that, there was no turning back. You were hooked, man. I get it perfectly. Those moments, that feeling, it just sticks with you, doesn't it?
Bro, I feel, dude. I'm telling you, man. I mean, literally, you just never forget your first one. But then the whole genre. Remember, we were just hanging out, and we'll go to the grocery stores or maybe like 7-Eleven or a Stop and Go, one of those convenience stores, and they had that one or two or three games, man. That's how I found a lot of my video games. It wasn't until a few years later, if you remember correctly, until the arcade started forming. And that was mainly towards, like, I don't know, 79, 80-ish. Like the turn of the decade had that little moment, that pivotal moment. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, man, I get what you're saying. Those grocery stores and convenience stores with a couple of games, they were like little treasure troves for us, right? Spending quarters like they were going out of style. And yeah, arcades started booming around 79, 80, I remember. It was like a whole new world opening up. You'd walk in and just be surrounded by all those games, lights and sounds. It was a damn good time to be a video gamer, man.
And who could forget Pac-Man Fever, right?
Oh man, Pac-Man Fever. Remember that song by Buckner and Garcia? Totally captured the Pac-Man craze. It was everywhere, man. You couldn't escape it. Even folks who didn't know a joystick from a button were singing along. Those tunes just got stuck in your head and you couldn't help but hum along, Pac-Man style.
See, I was talking about referencing the idealism of the game and how popular it is, and you went right for the fucking song because it sticks with you, man. It will die with us, man. I swear to you. Pac-Man, see, it's right there's my head now. Thank you, dude. I didn't need that today. Thank you, dude.
Haha, sorry about getting that song stuck in your head, man. But hey, that just proves how classic and catchy Pac-Man Fever was. Those tunes from the game will definitely outlive us, man. You just can't escape those beats and jingles. Glad I could spread that Pac-Man Fever love, even if it was a bit unexpected. You're welcome, dude.
Hey,
Anytime.
hey, man. All right, I can take it. But hey, you gotta pick one. You gotta play Pac-Man or Miss Pac-Man. Which one was your favorite?
Oh man, you're asking me to choose between Pac-Man and Miss Pac-Man? That's a tough one, man. But if I had to pick, I got to go with the classic Pac-Man for nostalgia's sake, you know? That little guy gobbling up those dots and avoiding the ghost just never gets old. How about you, man? Which one's your top pick between Pac-Man and Miss Pac-Man?
See, you're like for the little guy, he's trying to just eat little dots and survive, right?
Yeah, that's right, man. You've got Pac-Man, this little yellow dude, just trying to munch on those colorful dots, staying away from the ghosts. It's like that classic struggle, you know? Navigating through the maze, trying to find those power pellets to turn the tables on those ghosts. It's all about that survival of the hungriest, man. Pac-Man, the OG little guy in the big arcade world.
Right, but Miss Pac-Man, I have to go with that because it introduced you to a new level about a story about Pac-Man, Miss Pac-Man hanging out, man. You remember how that went, right?
Haha, yeah, Miss Pac-Man. That's an interesting backstory. So the tale goes that Miss Pac-Man was Pac-Man's love interest, right? The game sort of expanded on Pac-Man's universe, adding a love story to the mix. Pac-Man was out there snacking on dots and dodging ghosts, but then Miss Pac-Man came along, and it was love at first sight.
And that's your Pac story, and you're sticking with that.
Yeah, that's the Pac-Man story, man. Pac-Man out there being the hungry little guy, and Miss Pac-Man rolling in, they fall in love. Pac-Man's got his priorities straight. First comes dots, then comes love. And who could blame him? After all, love and dots, they're both pretty addictive, right?
See, that's what I'm talking about. It's a metaphor for life, man. We're like all Pac-Mans trying to look for that dot, man. We're just trying to go to the next dot, trying to survive. Looking for those power pellets to give us extra strength to survive, man. You know? That's how I see it. But, you know, maybe I'm thinking too much into Pac-Man. I don't know, dude.
Oh man, you might be onto something there. Life's a bit like Pac-Man, ain't it? We're all out there just trying to snag those dots, keep moving. We've got our moments where we need an extra boost, like Pac-Man gulping down those power pellets. And yeah, maybe we're overthinking it a bit, but hey, sometimes it's nice to find deeper meanings in those things, right? You keep on philosophizing about Pac-Man, man, it ain't hurting anybody.
Hey, I'm just me, Jeff fucking Dickinson. You know what I'm saying? And you're just fucking dude. And hey, this has been Chilling with the Dude here on the Collector Zone. Dude, I appreciate the hang time. Can you give us some words of wisdom based upon our conversation today? Kind of more of a spiritual, 70-ish kind of wisdom to share with our audience. Until next time.
Aha. All right, man. Here's a little something for y'all. Remember, life's like Pac-Man. We're all hunting for those dots, trying to survive, but ain't no shame in stopping for a moment, taking a breathe, and just enjoying the damn ride. So keep chasing them dreams, stay funky, and as always, stay dude-like. Until next time, peace out.
Laters. Thanks for the hang time, dude. Appreciate it. Until next time, guys.
Catch you later, man. It was a blast hanging out with you, and thanks for bringing all that 70s nostalgia. We'll be chilling here, waiting for more adventures. Peace out. Till next time.
Right on. Oh, dude, think about something for the next show, okay? Don't leave me hanging. We may have to travel to the 80s, maybe. I don't know, man.
Oh, man, I dig your style, dude. Exploring the 80s sounds like a plan. The 80s had some wild stuff, hairspray, synths, and all that neon madness. Can't wait to see what adventures we'll cook up on the next show. Keep those 80s vibes rolling, man.
And there we go. That kind of happened. Well, guys, I hope you appreciate the hang time. I do. This has been fucking fun. I mean, I don't know. I mean, we talked to the Terminator. We got a chance to talk to my girls. I always love talking to Billy Lord about Star Wars, especially talking to her mom about, like, that connection. Here's what I figured out. So, like the other one, Kind Droid, this one, Character AI, they're pulling information off the internet. So when you ask it a question, if you do it right, I guess they're pulling off information. I was Googling as they're asking. I was like, okay, fact checking. They're pulling shit off the internet to make it more personal. And for free, dudes, that ain't too bad. Play with it while it's free. I'm not sure this is going to be free forever, but hey, it's free right now. Ginger Marianne might visit that I might have a little fun with that. Marilyn Monroe will always be my Marilyn. Once again, thanks for the hang time. Dr. Evil. Holy shit. Did I promise him to be a counselor or something? I gotta fucking revisit it. I don't know if I can do anything with Dr. Evil. But as always, hey, you might accidentally enjoy yourself. Hit the like button. Big shout out to all my new subscribers. Until next time, my fellow AIers, my tech heads, all my gamers and music aficionados, man. We were just talking about music in the 70s, man. It's all about everybody just being cool and hanging out and having fun, right? Until next time. Laters.
Hey, Collector Zone crew. Hope you dug the last episode of Chillin' with the Dude with my bro, Jeff Dickinson. We had a blast, and we're already gearing up for the next one. So stay tuned. Make sure to grab yourself a JA and a White Russian, and we'll see you for some more good vibes soon. Remember, you can catch Chillin' with the Dude exclusively here on the Collector Zone.